What's up? What's up? Welcome to what I usually say is another episode of the Pre-PT Grind Chat Live, but because this is on a different day, I'm not going to call it that, but just thank you so much for spending a few moments with us. My name is Joseph Googie. I am one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, which is a pre-physical therapy platform that helps you as a pre-physical therapy student get accepted into PT school without wasting time or money. Casey and I have a great topic to share with y'all tonight, but I want to add him on here. Casey on. Debbie, how are you doing? Everybody, Courtney. Oh, yo, look at my man. Straight living it up, huh?
Hey, that's what it is. It's summertime. I can't work from inside all the time.
Yeah, man, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy it, man.
Exactly.
So, first of all, y'all, Courtney, welcome. We have, let's see who we have on here. We have Reed, we have Yeslin, we have Debbie. Good to have you on here. Super excited. If you're watching live, please comment hashtag Team Live. If you're watching on the replay, comment hashtag Team Replay so we know you're here. But honestly, one of the little hacks of Facebook is that whenever you guys comment, it actually keeps popping this up so that not only you, but every other pre-PT that needs to hear what we're about to share is able to do so. So we would love as much interaction as possible. And anything that we share in the next 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, if you guys have questions, comment them below so that we can hit them live. And even if you do it on the replay, we'll make sure to comment so that we can make sure that you're well taken care of. But Casey, let's just dive in, man. Let's dive in. So right now, as a pre-PT, for those of y'all that are applying this cycle, if you're applying this cycle, just say me so we know it's you. But those of you applying this cycle are feeling it the most. If you're applying, in a year, 2 or 3, you have different problems. Maybe it's now retaking classes or there's other issues. But the ones that are applying right now are feeling the heat. And so the biggest temptation though is that when things don't seem to line up well, but it looks like, man, it doesn't look like my app is looking the way I wanted it to. Maybe I applied last time. When there's all of those little roadblocks create these beliefs that it might not actually occur. So what normally happens as a human being, Courtney, as a human being, we naturally go to a plan B. And Casey and I have, in getting on the calls that we've been getting on with students, having our students in the accepted system, of course, seeing it a lot inside of this community, inside of the pre-doctor physical therapy students page, there's still this element of, I really want PT, but if everything goes wrong, what am I going to do next? Or what other profession am I going to go into? And sometimes it's just like, it could be like an internal safety mechanism as a human being to drive, so that you're not stressed as much, right? Michael, good to have you here. Maddie, I hear you. So sometimes it's like a safety mechanism that we use. It's like, if I can just tell myself that there's a plan B, then maybe I won't have as much anxiety about applying to PT school, Casey. Maybe I won't have as much stress about maybe getting rejected. Maybe I won't have as much stress about how low my GPA is. Maybe I won't, and all of those thoughts are just excuses that we create. It's just something we do as humans. I do it. Casey's done it plenty of times. But what we want to do is, if you want, let me just ask this first. How badly do you want PT? On a scale of 0 to 10, just comment below. I just want to know. If you're not sure, it's fine. This is a very safe environment. But on a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you that PT is it? 10 is yo, Casey, Joseph, I don't want anything else. This is it. So just let us know right now. Just put a number. If it's a 7, because you're kind of confident, but you're not fully sure if PT is what you want to do, that's fine. Lizzie, good to have you here, Lizzie. If it's a 10 and you're like, yo, I want PT, I want in, I want this is the profession that I can see myself doing. If it's a 10, if it's a 9.9, that's very high. Cool. Debbie says it's a 10. Is it a 1? If it's a 1, that probably means that there's other conversations that we should be having first before you apply. But how badly do you want PT? Courtney says a 10. Perfect. Keep commenting them. Lizzie says a 10. Keep commenting. Casey, how confident were you when you switched from farm to PT? How confident were you that PT was what you wanted?
Oh, after going through all that, definitely a 10.
Cool.
Definitely a 10.
100%. And you're not regretting it so far, are you?
Not at all. Not
It's
at all.
good being a PT. All right, perfect. Okay, so we have tens, 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 tens. Even if you're watching this on replay, I want you to comment below because this is the determining factor. If it's a 10, now follow me. Like 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 I told you, engagement is the key. So if it's a 10, what's the use? What's the use in settling for something that might be like a 4 on your list? So if I know PT is a 9.9 I saw or a 10, then why should I consider something that's not a 10? Why should I say, you know what? I'll try this thing that's a 10. If it doesn't work out, I'll go to this thing that maybe my mom likes. Maybe what's up, Paul? Maybe it's something I'm seeing my classmates doing. Maybe it's something I just saw online. Athletic trainer. Maybe I want to be a nurse. I'll pick something else. But if it's not a 10, does it really make that much sense to do so? Like, you can comment yes or no. Does it make that much sense to switch from something that I am certain I want to something that I am certain I don't want, but I could kind of deal with? Doesn't make all that much sense to me. The hard question is now, when things are falling apart, when it doesn't look like my probability of getting into PT, is that high. When I'm seeing all these other things, when I'm seeing my classmates get into the profession. I spoke to somebody this morning, like early this morning. It was my first call out of several. And this morning, I spoke to a student who was telling me that over the last year, they've just been having these like internal struggles where they've seen like their entire cohort of classmates is like ahead, established. Their significant other has been trying to motivate them, but they're like, nah, like I should be further along. I should be this. I should be that. And this person literally started considering plan Bs. They started considering other options. But they told me this morning, they were like, and this is why we're doing this live stream. They told me this morning, they're like, Joseph, it did not matter. Like at the end of the day, I was so frustrated because I was still unhappy with the fact that I was not getting my profession that I was 10 out of 10 and still am 10 out of 10 confident that I want.
Mm.
So here's what we want to do. Is it okay if we share with you the 3 essential keys to never needing a plan B as a pre-PT? Is that okay? We're going to share with you 3 key things and then we're out. Is it okay with you? If it's okay, just comment yes. If it's not, say no. Casey's out in the sun, so he's chilling. I'm moving. So like we're literally like, y'all ain't gonna see this background for for more than like 2 or 3 more days because I'm moving to a new house. So like I got a bunch of boxes and stuff like that. But if it's okay, if y'all are okay with us sharing those three keys, like I would love to. Casey, you down to share with them?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool. If y'all, okay, so Lizzie says yes, Courtney says yes, Debbie says yes. Perfect. All right. So let's just drop it for you, and then we have something for you at the end as well. So first of all, it's 3 key things. I'm going to say, like, I'm going to go one at a time, and Casey and I will go back and forth. Then the second one, third one, and then after that, if you have questions, we'll answer them. Sounds good? All right. Ben Kim, good to see you here, Mr. 2.4. So here's the first one. The first key to never, not sometimes, not occasionally, not when my GPA is like a 1.9, not when I've applied 3 times in a row and got rejected, to never have to have a plan B, to never have to need a plan B. The first one is you have to stay in your 2 worlds. We learned this one from one of our coaches. Staying in your 2 worlds means this, and this is, oh my goodness, if y'all can get this as pre-PTs, it's so simple, but if y'all can get this as pre-PTs, you will set yourself up, like literally, to stand out amongst every other applicant, not because you look better or anything like that, but because you've literally like navigated around the biggest obstacle that we have as human beings, and that is other people's opinions. Other people's opinions will cripple you as a pre-PT. Your classmates' opinions of where you should be in your career will cripple you as a pre-PT. You being 28 years old, being like, yo, I see 21-year-olds applying to PT school, like, and seeing maybe I'm too old. That, like, the opinion of other people will cripple you if that's all you allow to navigate. So let's talk about the two worlds. What are the two worlds? The two worlds, are one, a select group of people. Y'all listen to me tonight. Like a select group of people that not only understand where you are in your journey, that are not only going through what you're going through in real time, but also believe in your 10 out of 10 decision to become a physical therapist and nothing else more than you.
Ooh, more than you. Jeez.
That's the first world. Most of us don't even know where to find that. So a select group of people, not just anybody, not just mama, not just your dad, not just your uncle, not just your professor, not just your advisor, most likely not ever your advisor. A select group of people that 100%, like literally, they see more upside in you than you do, but they are locked into your 10 out of 10. They are locked in to your 10 out of 10 more than you are. I think I disappeared for a little bit. Can you hear me, Casey?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect. So that's number one. That's the first world. The second world is now your application. The second world is what y'all are doing right now. The second world is PTCAF. The second world is the GRE. The second world is retaking classes. The second world is the actual stuff, the actual actions that get you into PT school. Those are the only two worlds you need to be a part of. If you have anything else outside of that, you are taking down your chances of getting into PT school. Because if other people's opinions, if a lot of the anxieties come about because we have all of these internal thoughts and beliefs that the worst case scenario is going to happen. If that's the case, then you are screwing yourself over and nobody's going to tell you that. Your advisors will not tell you that because they don't understand it. They don't have two worlds. Your professors won't understand it because they don't have two worlds. Your parents won't understand it because they don't understand your world. They don't understand your dream. My mama loves me so much, y'all. My wife and I called my fam this weekend. We talked for like an hour. It was amazing. But the honest truth is, all of my dreams are still my dreams. And I can't expect someone else who does not have the same dream as me. They might have the best intentions for me. But just because they have the best intentions for you does not mean they're going to give you the best direction. Because they're going to do it based off of their perspective, their opinions, their experiences. And if they have not gone through what you're going through, then what they're going to do is they're going to try to give you the safest passage to you, quote unquote, succeeding. So that might mean, hey, get a plan B. And that's the last thing y'all need to hear right now. So number one, the number one key, I want y'all to comment this below. Number one, stay in your two worlds. Comment it below. Comment it below. Stay in your two worlds. If y'all like, oh my gosh, Casey, if they can understand this alone, they're increasing their chances of getting in. Case, tell us what your thoughts are on number one before I go to number 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can kind of correlate this or use an analogy for this in terms of like business, right? People, Apple, you can use Amazon, you can use whatever business you're thinking of. They have investors, right?
Yeah.
These big businesses, even small ones, they look for funding to have investors. Why? Not just because of money. Yeah, people give them money to help their business grow, but because the people investing in you have just as much at stake as you do to get that result that you want.
Exactly.
So who's investing in your business? You're a business, right? You're going to become a physical therapist, making money, your own clinic, your own online business, your own whatever you want to do. You're a business, right? Who's investing in your business? Is it, like Joseph said, your mom, your family who didn't even apply to PT school? Is it your advisors who didn't even apply? Is it your friends that are in a completely different type of profession? Who's investing in your business? Who has a shared interest to get you into PT school besides you? Like Joseph just said, you need to find a select group of people that believe that you can do it more than you can. Just like these investors, they're putting thousands, millions of dollars into a new business to make sure that that business grows. They're putting hours of mentorship into that new business so that business can grow because they have a vested interest into that business.
Yeah.
You have to look at yourself as a business. Who is investing in you besides you? You're here right now because damn sure ain't your advisors. You love your family probably, but they don't understand.
Yeah.
So you need someone to have a shared interest, whether 10%, 20, 50, 100%, that they can believe in you to get into PT school. So that first world, I don't think we talk enough about it. The second world, this is why you guys are here, or this is why you think you're here. Oh man, PT Cast is here, the essays, the GRE, the letters.
Yeah.
Yes, the second world takes up a lot of time, but your second world might be at jeopardy because you don't have a first world, maybe. So make sure that's really it for that first one. Make sure that you have somebody or you have a group of people like the acceptance system to invest into your future as much as you do. So that's my thing for number one.
I love it. Staying in your two worlds. Number two, real clarity as an applicant. Not the cookie cutter approach y'all been given by your advisor. Real clarity as an applicant, not the cookie cutter approach. Half the reason why you decide to have a plan B is because you feel like, why do we feel like we're not going to be a good applicant? It's because we're being told the same ish, right? So if I'm being told by my advisor, just retake this one class, just do this, just do that. And I realize, like, internally as humans, if we realize, shoot, like, everyone else is told the same thing. So how does that really help me stand out? It creates other problems where you start stressing out, where you start having these false beliefs that, like, I actually don't really like, how am I really standing out if the retaking classes or everything that I'm being told is the best way of getting into PT school by advisors who most of the times have never been to PT school, let alone having been through it for a
Sorry, I'm
while.
getting out of this music.
If that's the case, now you're good, man. If that's the case, you have to have real clarity, which is not cookie cutter. You have to have real, like, it has to be like specialized to you. So what are you doing as a pre-PT to find that? And I'm saying, like, listen right now. If you're applying a PT cast right now, like, that's part of it. But if all you're doing is either one, being reactive as an applicant, where you're saying, okay, let me see where I stumble or where I have a struggle, or let me see what everyone else is doing, you're doing exactly what I'm telling you is the wrong thing to do. Does that make sense? Now, do you have to apply? Of course. Do you have to, like, follow, PT Cast's, system and process? Of course, yes. But as an applicant, you have to say, like, do I really know the game I'm playing? Or am I setting myself up to get in the loop of deceiving myself into believing that I'm doing the right things, but ultimately I'm just doing what everybody else is doing? And if that's the case, then no, there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, like, the background was almost had me laughing, but I was talking, so I was like, hey, I gotta focus. But the honest truth is, like, that's a big key. Casey, what can you tell us about real clarity as an applicant?
I mean, clarity really comes from you having a plan. I think we talked about this last live stream, right?
Yeah.
Do you have hope? Are you looking through like a foggy lens? That's what really hope can be like, right?
Yeah.
Or do you have clarity? Is your lens clean? Do you have a predictable plan? I think the clarity comes from that plan, because you probably know on the coaching calls, you probably know on all these consulting calls that we do, it's like an aha moment when we get to the end. It's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is clear. I have direction. I have a predictable system. I have a predictable solution. I have a predictable plan to get my end results. However, a lot of people are still in hope right now, like we talked about last video, and hope is for horrible planners. You're hoping because you don't have a plan. You're hoping because you don't have clarity. But if you have this plan, if you have something predictable, then the path is clear. There are no trees around like this. You have a clear path, like Lakeshore Drive right there. Your path should be like that.
Yeah.
And if all you have is hope right now, you're in the woods like this. If you have a clear, predictable plan, you can be chilling on Lakeshore Drive to make your life so much easier, to have a clear path and to have clarity to your goal of becoming a PT. So make sure you have some clarity. Make sure you have that predictable plan to give you clarity. So that's my step for number 2.
I love it. He actually went to number 3 as well, because number 3 is making your application predictable, which is exactly what Casey just hit it. Making it predictable and knowing what the other side will see. A lot of times the reason why we're so scared is because we don't know what the schools are going to think. We don't know what they're going to see in our application. We don't know whether they're going to throw our application away. We don't know whether we have a high chance of getting an interview. We don't know what they prioritize or value. If we don't know, we're like, I don't know. Let me just apply and see what happens, Casey. Let me see what happens, Joseph. But if it's predictable, you actually take the driver's seat. You're driving. You're in control. And for the first time in the journey of pre-PTs, we're trying to equip you with the control over whether or not you get accepted or not. But it has to be predictable. So ask yourself, am I staying in my two worlds? Do I actually have real clarity as an applicant? Do I have a predictable process as an applicant where I know, yo, this is the year? Because we can motivate you all day long and we can get hype, we can instill, and I love reinstilling like the fire in pre-PTs. I love that part. But that is just part one of two. The second part is the action. And that comes with everything we talked about today. If that makes sense to everybody so far, just comment makes sense. If that makes sense to you, if you're like, you know what, that makes sense, just comment makes sense. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate you giving us the crash notes on tonight's topic and the notes. So, like, if that makes sense to y'all, we just want to make sure. Like, if it doesn't make sense, say it doesn't make sense, and we'd be more than happy to break it down. But if that makes sense to you so far, just say makes sense. Because what we want to do is we want to take it a step further for each and every one of you. This Sunday, and I'm saying this not as like a, hey, we just want to have it. No. This Sunday, the goal of this Sunday is we want to give you control as a pre-PT applicant. Like, we want to give you the keys. We want you to drive the car. We want you to say, yo, I know what to expect. I know what the advisors are going to think. I know the best plan for me. I know the predictable plan. I know my two worlds. I'm staying in my two worlds. Let's freaking go. I want you to feel that level of clarity. So this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing a free training. It is not going to be on Facebook. It's going to be a webinar training. We're trying to pack this thing out. Several hundred pre-PTs. We're just trying to pack it out because we want to help you. Honestly, it's for the pre-PTs that actually want to level up. So if you don't, then that's cool. If you want to stay just kind of doing things the old school way, it's probably not the training for you. But if you're trying to level up, if you're saying it makes sense, then you probably want to be there. And you will, like, it would be in your best interest to bring in as many friends as possible. If you got a whole class of people, it's probably good to actually say, hey, y'all, listen, go to this thing. I want you to type this in below. www.leveluptheprept.com. Comment it below, www.leveluptheprept.com. I want y'all to go there like now and just register. Put in your name, lock yourself in. Like, there's a certain number of seats, I guess, but like I care more so about students that are saying, I want to level myself up. I want to give myself the best leverage I can have in order to have this control. If that is you, go to the link, go register. We're going to talk about the biggest problems that pre-PTs have that have cost thousands of rejections each cycle. We're going to teach you how to reclaim control actively as a pre-PT. We're going to talk about the 6 steps that have helped tons of other applicants that we've had through our system, like our students that we've coached. We're going to teach you the very things that we've taught them. We're going to teach you how to become predictable. We're going to teach you how to transform yourself into a magnet for the schools you're trying to get into. But it's only if you want to level up. If you don't, listen, please don't be there. But if you want to level up, that's where you got to be. Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Let's freaking go. Let's show you how you can separate yourself as an applicant. Because the honest truth is, the majority of pre-PTs know they want to feel confidence, they want to do this, but most of them are not action takers. They will not say, yo, I'm willing to actually actively play a role in my ability to reclaim control. But if that is you, the fact that you're on this live stream, whether live or on replay, it means that there's a pretty good bet that it's you. So if that is you, we cannot wait to see you. We cannot wait to see you. It's not like, but I would register now because if you forget, you won't have access to the replay and all that stuff. But just come ready, eat your breakfast, If you're on the West Coast, it's 9 a.m. Eat your breakfast, stretch before you show up, bring a pen and paper. We're going to drop fire, but we want to give you control as a pre-PT. www.leveluptheprept.com. If you're ready, say I'm ready. If you're ready, say I'm ready, because that's all we need. Like, yo, as pre-PTs, listen, like 2019 is your year if you want it to be. Casey and I are physical therapists. I love being a PT, clinic director. I got my thing. Like, Casey loves what he's doing. You can see he's like chilling in the sun and
Life
in
is
Chicago
good.
doing this thing.
You
Man,
need
life is great.
this. If you
But
want this, be at the webinar. I don't know what else to say. Like,
yo, real
just be
talk,
there.
man. Real talk. What's up, Kyle Rice? We want y'all to be there. If you're ready, let's level up together, pre-PTs. For the first time in the history of pre-PTs, y'all actually have control. Pre-PTs have never had control. When we were applying, we never had control. It was always, your grades are bad, pick something else. You've been rejected before. It's probably a sign that God wants you to do something else. For the first time, we want to give you control. If you want to be part of that, let's freaking go. If you don't, no problem. There will be plenty of seats for other people. Let's get it. Y'all have a blessed one. Have a good evening. Go register. www.leveluptheprept.com. Let's freaking go. See you on Sunday. Let's go.